Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome. I have a cold. Oh, not really. I was just had. Maybe next time I don't eat a little bit of ice. I don't eat some ice cream before stream. Maybe that's where I'm going because I feel a little frog in the throat. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Right? We're fine. Okay? We're just like a polo. We're fine. Well, I'm fine. Everything's good. You know? It's good. Anyways, welcome back to more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destiny. Tonight we are starting episode 4 of the Cosmic Turnabout. I did look into the save file just to see what the turnabout was called. Do I know what's gonna fucking happen? Nope. Never. You never know what's going on. Nothing. Nope. Everything. Okay, first time I can present evidence to somebody, we're shoving our badge in some of their face. Like I was gonna do that anyways. You know, when I made the Take That redemption, I thought more people would use it during trials. Because that actually impacts my gameplay. Because I get a penalty loss every time I would do it. Because why would you ever need to show your attorney's badge in court? But we'll do it. Well, we should just get started right away. Right? That's how it goes, right? We're back to the courtroom room before being blown up. The courtroom bombing incident. A terrible attack launched by the will of a madman. That incident perfectly symbolized the state of the legal world in this dark age of the law. Mr. Wright brought it to a resolution of sorts. Ted Tonate was discovered to be the one responsible for the bombing. If it were that simple. Somehow I can't help but think. That there's a darker influence at work. One that's lurking in the shadows, waiting. That's why I want to review the trial that was taking place when the bombing occurred. After all, I got more than a few personal stakes in it.
Until launch. Please begin your final equipment check.
Check complete. Everything's A-okay. We're ready.
It's not complete. Bombs!
Come in at 2. Come in. Do you copy?
One of them's dead, at least. December 16th, 9:12 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 5. I mean, I guess I will be presenting my badge to somebody in court. Time for another trial to begin. But this one's different. Sorry to bother you, but... Oh, it's Junie. Are you alright, Apollo? Ah! Was I making a scary face just now? Oh, hi, Juniper. Yes, I'm fine. I'm just doing my Court of Steel exercises. Now I'm all ready to go! Yes, knowing you, I'm sure you'll just be just fine. Oh, I brought you a present from my garden. Is this a lotus root? That's right. My grandma says that lotus roots are good for your eyes. She even says that if you look through the holes, it can help you see into the future. It's for good luck. Maybe later you can cook it and... Thanks for this! I'm gonna have some right now! Oh my! Kind of tough though. You can't eat it raw, but thank you for the enthusiastic try. Oops, if she didn't think of me weird before, she will now. Gotta calm down. Apollo! I'm sorry I'm late. Hi, Cena. Junie, I didn't know you were coming today. Did you come to cheer Apollo on? Oh, I get it. You sly little thing. Cena, stop! Quit kidding around, Cena. The trial's about to start any second. Is everything all set? Oh, Apollo. When will you ever figure it out? Figure out what? Wow. That's the longest sigh I've ever heard. This is it. It's all over for me. They're gonna find me guilty. This is our client, one Soul Starbucks. He's a very famous astronaut who happens to be an acquaintance of mine. You wouldn't know it right now, but he's usually a very upbeat and driven person. The scene of the crime this time happened to be the Cosmos Space Center. Back in high school, my best friend and I were there almost a little too much. But that's when we met Mr. Starbuck. We asked about space travel, and he launched into story after story with so much passion. Back in those days, the man was 100% my hero. You know what I just realized? We don't know why Apollo became a lawyer. We have literally no idea. We have a little speck of Athena because she's trying to save someone. Turnabout Goodbyes basically gave us Phoenix's story. But we don't know why Apollo became a lawyer. Maybe this will clear some air up. Are you sure you're okay being my lawyer, Apollo? Oh no. Is Apollo's best friend the one who died? Oh, buddy. Of course I'm sure. I know you, Mr. Starbuck. I know you're not the type to commit murder. Thanks, but... I was supposed to be in space right about now. Was that about the same lengths? Because they're about the same lengths in the typing here. He's so depressed it almost seems like it's an act. The launch getting called off must have been a huge shock. I'll probably never get the chance to go into space again. Don't say that. Don't stop believing. Don't stop believing. Hold on to the feeling. I am a great singer. Besides, you just have to go into space. You just have to go into space again. Yeah, I don't think I could face Clay in the afterlife if I just rotted away in a cell. Clay Tyrion. I can't believe he was murdered. I mean, he was such a promising astronaut under your command. Yeah, he was a good guy. Always there to pick me up when I was down. No one loved life as much as him, that's for sure. He was always so full of energy, telling me, "You're fine, Mr. Starbuck." How could something like this happen to a guy like him, huh? I've never seen Mr. Starbuck so down. Clay is gone, and I'm going to prison. I wish I could burn up like a shooting star right now. Mr. Starbuck, you'll be fine! Ow! Ah! What was it? What was the yelling? I'll get to the bottom of this today. You'll see. No, we won't. In exchange, I want you to go back into space for you and Clay. Promise? Does that mean you have lots of evidence to prove my evidence? I don't know. Let me check the court record. I got nothing. Good luck, buddy. Oh, well, about that. We didn't get to investigate the area as much as I would like to, thanks to the police. I'm done for. I'm a goner. Everyone thinks I did it. I thought I was gonna soar like a comet, but I'm just gonna crash like a meteorite. No! Don't say that, Mr. Starbuck! Don't count yourself out yet. I know it's hard to lose a teammate, but you gotta keep going. And what about you, Apollo? What about me? I was just thinking, wasn't Clay your best friend? We need to focus on the trial right now. Are you ready to go? Apollo? We can do the therapy session later, Athena! We can do that in court or something, because that's usually where you bring it up. The trial is about to begin. If the defense would like to proceed to into the courtroom. Okay, here we go. This is it. This is one trial I can't afford to lose. But I'm going to be taking a penalty for... It's especially because I'm going to be taking a penalty right away when I first be able to present some evidence. December 16th, 9:55 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4. Court is now in session for the trial of Solomon Starbuck. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Excuse me, Mr. Justice? Yes, Your Honor? What happened to your eye? I'm fine! The defense is ready, Your Honor! Are you sure? I'm fine, Your Honor. The defense is ready! I'm sorry, Your Honor. He's been like this since yesterday. He keeps insisting it's just a sigh. I suppose it's something he doesn't want to discuss. Maybe he's entering a touchy age. Very well. And the prosecution? The prosecution appears to be ready as well. Oh, do we get another judge opening statement? I would love for a judge opening statement. We didn't get that last episode. And I was very upset.
Silence.
Not yet. I'm not quite ready yet. Oh, okay, already? We're breaking the chains already. Okay. So hot, though. Ah. The prosecution is now ready. Well, it didn't take him long this time. What's up with Blackwell? No, then I shall give the opening statement.
Silence.
You can't do this to me again, Blackwell. Let the judge give his opening statement, even though it's supposed to be you giving an opening statement. I'll do it. Oh, we do get a Blackwell. We do get an opening statement, at least. You will? What an unexpected surprise. Oh, don't worry. Next episode, we'll be giving the opening statement. Because we're the only party who hasn't given an opening statement yet. It's time. I can't leave it to anyone else. I see. Something is off with the two of you today. What are you talking about, Your Honor? Apollo's fine. He said it himself. You both seem different somehow. We're fine. Very well, Prosecutor Blackwell, your opening statement, if you would. It was just yesterday. The crime in question occurred at the Cosmos Space Center. Ah, that famous federal research facility of all things related to astrology, right? Astronomy. It's astronomy. Anyways, a rocket was set to launch from there. But at 9:20 a.m., before they could even move the rocket to the launch site, two explosive devices were detonated and the launch was canceled. My word, 2 bombs? How dreadful. The defendant in today's trial is charged with both the bombing and with murder. One Solomon Starbuck. For whatever insane reason, he detonated a bomb in the rocket he himself would be in. Solomon Starbuck. I recognize that name. Isn't he that famous astronaut? Correct, Your Baldness. Mr. Starbuck was the pilot of the HAT-1 rocket 7 years ago. As you may recall, despite some interstellar trouble, his mission was a success. Some might say it was a miracle he returned alive. I suppose you could say he's a living legend. Oh, I remember now. He became some sort of an international celebrity, right? They even turned that incident into a movie and everything. We got a real space pioneer in court today. But even heroes tremble from their lofty heights. Returning to the subject at hand. Ah, yes. The victim was one Clay Tyrion, the subordinate of the defendant, and the defense's best friend. Indeed, a loyal disciple brutally stabbed to death by his mentor. Stabbed to death, you say? Let me check the court records. The victim was discovered at the 3rd floor boarding lounge in the main building. Oh, stabbing. You mean his death wasn't a result of the bombing? Correct. Despite his lofty dreams, the victim was seen as an interloper by the defendant. As so, he was not sent into space, but into the universe which we mortals cannot see. Clay. I think I've heard enough. The case seems pretty clear-cut at this point. However, there is one thing I'm curious about. That metal box next to the witness stand. What purpose does it serve exactly? Since you asked so nicely, it's your coffin. Ah! Have mercy on me! I jest. It's evidence. Due to its immense size, we have little choice but to lay it where it rests now. We shall get to the contents of the box in due time. Phew. I feel like I just lost 50 years off my life. Does he even have 50 years left? He's the judge. He's immortal. We love the judge. At least that's my headcanon now, is that the judge is immortal. Mortal. Inner monologue, Athena. Inner monologue. Enough jabbering. Bobby Fulbright's the name, and justice... Wait, hold on. In justice we trust! Oh, wait. OBS! In justice we trust! Wait, that wasn't OBS. That was Steam Deck's fault. Ah, Detective Fulbright. Very well, then. Please explain the details of the incident to the court, if you would. Okay, but first, look at this pamphlet from the Combo Space Center. In it, you'll find a diagram outlining the overall layout of the Space Center. Ah, here we are. For a more detailed look at at what's on the left side of the building. Take a look at this cross-section of the police have created. See that launch pad in the main building? The launch pad is the square building, and the round structure is the main building, right? You got it. The incident took place on launch pad 1 and in the main building's lounge. I'll be using this diagram during my testimony. It'll make it easier to understand. Okay, thank you for letting us have that into our court records. Details of the case. Just before the rocket was set to launch, 2 bombs went off. Boom! Boom! One on the second floor of the Space Center's main building, and then one in Launch Pad 1. Thankfully, only 2 astronauts were in Launch Pad 1 at the time. The 2 of them managed to make it back as far as the boarding lounge. But after the escape, one of the 2 was found stabbed to death. A murder on top of a bombing. Detective, the victim was already dead by the time he arrived at the lounge, correct? Yup. Thinking he sabotaged the bombing, the defendant killed him right there in the rocket. Just look at this tragic photo. Oh my, is that a knife in the victim's chest? Yes, Your Honor. That knife has cruelly ended this young man's dreams. We couldn't get any prints off of it, though, because the defendant was in his spacesuit. By the way, Detective Fulbright, why are the victim's helmet and right glove absent in the photograph? We had to remove them to identify him, Your Honor. I personally removed his glove during the investigation. We had to get his fingerprints to confirm his identity, after all. Yes, it would be very difficult to identify him without a face or fingerprints. Now, there's just one more thing I'd like to inquire about. What is this round thing next to the victim in the photo? Something so important to the victim, he took it with him as he escaped the launch pad. A capsule that apparently contains the asteroid samples. While obviously valuable for research purposes, it has no relation to this case. I see. So, we know that the bomb in the main building was on the 2nd floor. But where was the bomb in the launch pad 1 located? Heh, that one was on the rocket itself. It was situated around the central part of the rocket. Apparently, the area around the launch pad's elevator was a sea of flames. I'd like to submit this diagram and report it report it into the records. Trial just started and we're already in a bind. You get used to it. Besides, that's what cross-examinations are for, right? What the two astronauts were doing during the bombing. That'll be the key. Okay, but first things first.
Objection!
The evidence is completely odds with this witness's testimony. Your baldness. Me? Do what you make of this. Do what you make of this objection of his. Oh, I don't know if I should. Well, I have no patience for varieties. Now answer my question. Yes, sir. The defense's objection was clearly misguided. Bravo. Nicely done. Ho ho ho. It seems our misguided attorney has earned himself a penalty. Look before I leave next time. Sorry, Apollo. Just doing the redeem. Now that's taken care of. Now we press. How powerful were the explosions? Well, the one in the main building wasn't as strong enough to bring the place down. But the room just went off. It went off and burned black. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. Due to a large part, of course, me stepping in to lead the evacuation. Wait, what were you doing there in the first place, Detective Fulbright? Ha ha ha! I'm Bulby Fulbright, hero of justice. I'll be there whenever people need my help. I'll go to the other side of the world, or even the edge of the universe. I'm not sure he knows how far that actually is. It just says I trust! But I guess I'll leave that one alone. Admirable decision, Justice Dono. Huh? What he said? Anyways, could you describe what it was like at the Space Center at that time? The bomb cut the power off to the central bank of elevators and the third floor lounge. It was pitch black in there, I tell ya. However, the security cameras and whatnot were running up on emergency backup. And how did the evacuation go? I immediately and heroically whisked people down to the Space Center's basement shelter. The basement shelter? Yes, there's an emergency shelter beneath the Space Center. An emergency shelter, huh? Oh, here it is! It's at the bottom of the diagram. The Space Center is pretty impressive to have its own shelter. The power outage and the evacuation seem unrelated to the murder at this point. I guess I'll leave that aside for now. So were there were two explosions in total, correct? Yep, that's right. Let me get this straight. Mr. Starbuck rigged a rocket he was going to board with explosives. Huh? What are you talking about? If the defendant really did plant the bomb on his own rocket, he would get caught in the explosion as well. Oh, I haven't thought of that. Fine. A simpleton for a simpleton. Fulbright, the motive. Understood. The defendant actually had astrophobia. Astrophobia? What's that? A fear of space, naturally. Just the thought of space can cause the afflicted to freeze up. And so in his terror, the defendant found a way to stop the launch at the last minute. He's been in space before, idiots. That's absurd! Unfortunately for you, we have evidence. Take a look at these. What are they? They're anti-anxiety tablets we found among the defendant's possessions. Apparently, he's been taking them in secret to quell his fears. There are multiple problems with the rocket Mr. Starbuck rode 7 years ago. Rumor has it was threatened to crash into a number of times as well. That, of course, was very traumatic for Mr. Starbuck.
Objection!
But that doesn't mean he'll go as far to blow up his own ship.
Silence.
The defendant couldn't bear to mar his good name now, could he? Not after the media has branded him Sol Starbuck, space pioneer extraordinaire. Given these conditions, the defendant could hardly run away like some base mutt. What's that? So that's why you think he resorted to the bombing. Naturally, he constructed the act of sabotage in an attempt to blow up the Space Center, which would effectively abort the launch, but spare his reputation. Ugh. But then why go murder Clay? GG? Good job. Good job. I still have a C0 GT. Now I'm sure you'll understand why we have to bring justice down to execute a criminal. Thankfully, the only 2 astronauts were on Launchpad 1 at the time. Are you sure it was only the 2 of them? It was just before the spaceship was set to launch, so of course it was only those 2. Well, there could have been somebody else inside that rocket.
Silence.
The notion of a third party in the Launchpad 1 is utterly absurd. Just to enter the area from the lounge, one must pass through a door guarded by a fingerprint recognition device. And allow me to state up front that there are so precious few with the clearance to do so. A fingerprint recognition device. It sounds so futuristic and complex as a space center. Your Honor, I used to have a finger recognition to clock into work every day. Now I just use a 6-digit code. So it's not that impressive, Your Honor. Actually, it's not as amazing as you think, Your Honor. Take a look at this photo. This is the door in the lounge with the fingerprint lock. Only personnel with fingerprints that are registered can pass through. I see. That is very different from what I had in mind. And are there a record of number of people who passed through that door yesterday? Yes, there was only 3. The defendant, the victim, and the director of the Space Center, Yuri Cosmos. And doesn't that mean it's possible that the director is the one who did it? Not a chance. He was in the main building when the bomb exploded at 9:28. You ever heard of remote detonations? Dumbasses. Doing his job directing the launch. Besides having an alibi, he has no motive for committing these senseless acts. He has a point. I guess the director can't be considered a suspect then. Unless we bullshit and say yes, he is that the director is a suspect. It could be the director, honestly. I think for me right now, it's too soon to be like, yes, point fingers and be like, yes, he did it. No, that's the killer. Get him. So while it appeared that the pair barely escaped with their lives, in actuality, one of them has already been murdered inside the rocket. That's the angle the prosecution wants to push, correct? You got it. In fact, that's what I've been trying to say this whole time. If the victim has been alive, he would have been sure to try to stop the bombing. Is there any chance Mr. Tarian could have been killed before he boarded the rocket? They were both alive and well at the boarding time and embarked well under their own power. Their hearts are full in hopes and dreams of space. Oh, it's interesting that our opposite report doesn't give a time. So he could have been killed before the boarding. And both their hopes and dreams are dashed. If I may continue my explanation, after the evacuation order was given, the defense made his escape carrying the victim to make it look like a rescue. But after the escape, one of the two was found stabbed to death. And who was the first to find the victim? Actually, there were two of them. The Space Center's director, Year Cosmos, and Detective Candace Arm. One of them was a detective? Yep, Detective Arm specialized in bombings, you see. She and the director were ordered to the evacuation following the explosions. They were also worried about the astronauts, so they hurried over to the boarding lounge. That's when they discovered the victim along with the defendant. Two witnesses, huh? And one of them's a detective. I doubt either one of them have anything to say that would help me. I think that pretty much covers the details of the case. Only the victim and the defendant were on the launch pad when the former was killed. If this is the truth, then only Mr. Starbucks could have carried out this crime. What little could I get out of him only hurt my case. Justice Senna, foolish is the warrior who rushes headlong into battle. Preparation is an essential element of battle. I advise you to take a gander at this. What is it? Footage from a security camera. As the two astronauts emerged from the bowels of the Launch Pad 1 corridor. The boarding lounge security camera captured their desperate escape. Now, I would like to direct your attention to what the defendant is shouldering, which you can see is none other than the lifeless body of the victim. What? Order, I say. This lines up exactly with what the prosecutor has been asserting. I should have known Black Quill would have had something like this ready. Apollo? How exactly did they determine Clay was already gone in that footage? Ah, I see what you mean. Whether Clay was still alive at this point is pretty crucial. Your Honor, please take another look at the footage. Isn't it possible that Mr. Tyrion was still alive and here that Mr. Starbucks was helping him? Why, I believe you're right. One man carrying the other to safety. What a beautiful expression of friendship. Silence. Perhaps that's what it looks like to a one-eyed hothead in a Dorant. But only makes sense if it was the victim's dead body. What do you mean? Fulbright, explain it to Justice Dono. You got it. Ready, kid? The murder occurred in the lounge. Someone could have spotted it. Anyone could enter the lounge after all. But doing it while they were alone in the spaceship, that's a horse of a different color. Objection. But you can't deny that there's a possibility the murder could have happened in the lounge. All that video shows is a man helping a fellow astronaut out. Silence. Your assertion is based on emotion. It's based on your belief that Mr. Starbuck would surely help his own disciple. But you have no logical explanation as to why the victim could still be alive. Ugh. Unfortunately, Mr. Justice, the prosecution is right. Your argument is lacking in sound logic. But it sounded perfectly logical to me. Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no further objections, I believe it's time to bring this cross-examination to a close. Objections? Well, Thanks, Asina. Your Honor, the defense requests a little time to think and regroup. Given the facts, I'm not sure I see the need. Your Honor, please. What is it, Asina? It's just, there's something that's been bothering me. If it isn't the defense stalling for time, as always. Hey, we learn from the best. Very well, I'm feeling generous. You may have a small measure of time. Yes! You have 5 seconds. God, if we can't... 5 seconds! After that, I declare this cross-examination to be closed, and a verdict to be rendered. Your baldness, raise your gavel high. It's time for a countdown. Oh! Ready? We don't have time! Spit it out, Asina. Only 3 more seconds. Look, I don't think the prosecution's explanation is very complete. Meaning there's something missing. Like they conveniently left it out unexplained. Something they didn't explain. Ah! You're right! I think I know what you're talking about. This has been way more than 5 seconds. Your 5 seconds are up, Mr. Justice. Is there anything about the prosecution's argument you'd like to rebut? Yes, Your Honor. Actually, there is. There's something the prosecution has yet to make clear to this court. If you put it that way, what is it the prosecution has failed to explain? Wait. I should say why the body was moved. They failed to explain why Mr. Starbuck would bother bringing the body back at all. If the defendant wanted to kill the victim, why did he just leave his body in the rocket? Why go to the trouble of bringing him all the way back to the boarding lounge? Oh, that's true. I don't think we heard the prosecution's thoughts on that yet. That's because they have none, Your Honor. After all, how does one explain something so illogical? The prosecution is claiming that the defendant moved the victim's dead body. But what if the entire premise of that argument is wrong? Then let's hear your theory, Mr. Justice. The defense proposes that the defendant didn't kill the victim. He was helping him. Fulbright, explain it for our sad friend here before I nod his monologue, informing exactly why Space Boy moved the victim. Huh? They gotta be joking. They had a reason. I mean, it's Blackwell. It's simple. Mr. Starbuck did what he wanted to direct suspicion away from himself. He wanted to create an impression of his heroically risked his life to save his partner. That's why he made sure to make the security camera there look like it'd be a record. At the very least, he appears to have achieved success with you and the old man. Ah. One man carrying the other to safety. What a beautiful expression of friendship. The average person wearing a spacesuit weighs heavily over 200 pounds. Saving the life of a partner who weighs as much while trying to escape deathly flames. What a dramatic stab story for the silver screen. Indeed, I was completely taken in by the humanity of the story. You see, yet the true ending is that all the traces of his hammy act were meant to be blown up. Yes, and now we arrive at the thrilling conclusion. The third explosion. There's a third fucking explosion?! What are you talking about? There was no third explosion!
Silence.
Indeed, you are correct. But that's thanks to Detective Arm. It was she who identified and secured the bomb. However, it doesn't change the fact that the third bomb was discovered in the lounge. The sealed coffin besides the witness stand. That would be a bomb transport case. We used that to transport the deactivated bomb here. It was found in the lounge. A bomb in the form of the most distasteful toy. Oh, what? One on the second floor of the main building. One at the launch pad and one in the lounge. The defendant planned to set off 3 of the fireworks displays. Fortunately, the third was discovered before it could be detonated. For had not, the victim's body and the other vital evidence surely would have been implemented.
Objection!
Before you utter a word, know that the evidence supports me. Okay. It's like he's reading my mind. It's still undergoing forensic investigation, and I do not have the evidence on hand. However, know that a particular item was found in one of Mr. Starbuck's pockets. Especially a bomb detonating switch. You found what? Could have been easily slipped into his pockets. I suspect the defendant had no time to destroy such damning evidence. When the Space Center director and Detective Arm stumbled across the murder, so he sought to hide it in his pocket. Feeble-brained that he is. No! Mr. Starbucks would never do anything like that. Apollo, doing okay there, buddy? Justice Dunno? Open your eyes and see the truth. It appears to be irrefutable evidence that the accused set off the explosions. No, there has to be some kind of mistake. This can't be the truth. Still can't accept it. You believe in your client, come what may. Then why don't you cross-examine the defendant himself? This has got to be a trap. It's like Buckles controlling the entire game. Yeah, it seems like he was waiting for me to bring up the body moving issue. Why do you say that? Because he had just the right argument when I pointed it out. And to really rub it in, he had a decisive piece of evidence up his sleeve, too. He was trying to shake my faith in Mr. Starbuck and break me down. Then making you cross-examine Mr. Starbucks at this point was part of his plan, too? Totally underhanded, but I wouldn't expect anything less from him. Now let us hear from the arch-villain, the fiendish murderer himself. Famed astronaut Solomon Starbuck. Witness, your name and occupation, please. Solomon Starbucks, astronaut. How did this happen? Mr. Starbucks, you aren't looking very well. Will you be able to give testimony? Okay. No. Well, unfortunately, no is not an option. You are being accused of the Space Center bombing and the murder of Clay Taryn. Please testify to these allegations. Mind if I take the suit off? It's getting really heavy.
Silence.
It's not the weight of the suit that you feel, but of your sins. Prepare to carry that weight for the rest of your life. Banish me to the moon. I don't care anymore. Wow, that was the super negative. Is he going to be all right up there? He'll be fine, I think. As long as he doesn't totally give up and say that he did it, that is. Oh, come on! That's like a common trope in these episodes, that our client admits to the murder. And then they're like best friends do it. All I did was support Clay over my shoulders and get us off the rocket. I always took the elevator down to the middle floor and headed to the core floor. Clay had passed up at the time we got the order to evacuate. I didn't kill Clay. I was trying to save him. So you assert you didn't set off the bombs or the murder the victim. But I bet you think I'm lying, right? I reserve all judgment until after I heard your full testimony. I'm sure you don't believe me. I bet you don't even believe I'm an astronaut. I don't think the judge doubts that. Who'd wear a suit like that except an astronaut? I will say that when I saw you in that movie, you appeared to be quite courageous, though I thought supposed reality quite never lives up to fantasy. I guess I'm just a big disappointment. I really don't care what happens anymore. Yeah, I guess you're right, but it's not Halloween. Oh no, he's completely given up. What a depressing fellow. If you would join me in the clink, I imagine that annoying sigh of yours would rub off on the other inmates. Like how it rubbed off on Prosecutor Blackwell a second ago? Huh? That was Blackwell sighing? Mr. Starbuck's testimony contains a glaring contradiction. The question is, what does it mean? I mean, I guess you're right. Cosplayers would wear it. But I don't think a normal cosplayer or a Halloween costume would wear an actual spacesuit. You know, one that would make ya really hot. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying anymore. I mean, yeah, who knows? So what were you're saying is that the victim was still alive at the time? Of course! He was alive and well.
Silence.
If so, then you admit you took a man who was you took a man who was live and well and silenced him permanently. Was this? What? No! Black hole confirmed. Deadhead. Ah! No, it's not good, Captain! I'm getting stuck in it!
Objection.
Mr. Starbucks, you're not in space. Please give your testimony seriously. It was just nerves, but maybe I shouldn't have said he was alive and well. It was more like he was slumped over. Those are completely opposite ends of the spectrum. Like always, I took the elevator down to the middle and headed to the corridor. Is that the elevator inside the launch pad area? That's right. We always use it to get to and from the cockpit. That makes sense. So he was just using the route he always used, in spite of the fact that there had just been an explosion. Huh? I think Mr. Starbucks is hiding something. Something pretty big. Clay had passed out by the time we got to the order to evacuate. Passed out? Why was he passed out? Probably because of the explosion. The noise and vibrations were incredible. And it's a little wonder. It's a little wonder why a person would pass out, right? I guess. Not that I know. Zach! I've been hit by space debris. The main entrance on fire. It's gonna blow. Hag! You're not in space, dude. Yes, I see. I guess it does make sense that someone would pass out. Especially if the person in question is Mr. Starbuck. Anyways. Don't worry, I understand. I'll make sure everything turns out all right. But everyone's glaring at me like I did it. That happens a lot, don't worry. You'll get used to it. No, you won't. You're only going to be a defendant once. Hopefully. There are some cases where somebody does become a defendant twice. Oh, Junie should be in the gallery, so looking at her. But you know, her second time is what comes to here. Apollo, you have to reassure him better than that. And how am I supposed to do that? Try to imagine how he's feeling, and he's got to figure out how to boost his confidence. Mr. Starbuck, think back to what Clay used to always say. It's times like these when he would repeat, "I'm fine," to himself. Ah, got it. So that's why Apollo always yells he's fine. I'm fine? Yeah, I guess he did say that a lot. But even if I shouted, Clay would still be dead. What's the use? Wait, I got this. I'm fine! Could somebody please reassure me now? Apollo! There's something strange about Mr. Starbuck's testimony. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. There's a clearing contradiction. I just wonder why it's there and what it means for our case. Well, it doesn't look like he's lying, at least. Guess I'll have to show him some evidence. I have to show evidence.
Objection!
Mr. Starbuck, I need your testimony to be as accurate as possible. Was I not being accurate? No, because it's impossible for you to have taken the elevator down to the middle level. What makes you say that, Mr. Justice? Please recall where a bomb went off in launch pad 1. Also recall that after the explosion, the middle elevator was engulfed in flames. Oh, you're right, which means exactly. The launch pad's elevator would have been unusable. In other words, Mr. Starbuck, your statement is decisively inconsistent with the facts. What's with the helmet? Ah! Mission command! Do you read me? Come in, please.
Objection!
This is a mission command. I order you to pay attention! Stop this nonsense and answer my questions, Mr. Starbuck. Ah! My helmet! Ah! My oxygen tank! We're not in space, dude. Oxygen concentrated. My body temperature declining. Request medical assistance. Gag! Your Honor, can I plead insanity for my client? Now, Mr. Starbuck, we are not in space right now. Please stop pretending that you have lost consciousness and stand back up. I apologize, Your Honor. And I forgot I was still on Earth. I feel like we all just got a real glimpse of this Solomon Starbucks, the astronaut. Yeah, he seems more like an astronaut now than when he was doing all that sighing. Mr. Starbuck, could you please explain the inconsistency in your statement about how you used the middle level elevator? I was nervous and said the wrong thing. I'm sorry. I actually took a different route, I think. What do you mean you think? A different route? You think? I hope you're able to deliver a straight story this time. Ah! I'll get right to this time. Maybe. No, probably. Probably. It's understandable to be nervous, but let me remind you, your accuracy is a paramount in coward. Let's see. In space, throughout. What I said was a mistake. I remember now. I took a different route. Maybe, probably, with the capsule and clay in my arms. I made my way down from the upper level. So you're saying you escaped without using the elevator? That's right. There's a ladder that spans the upper and the middle levels. I used that ladder to get to the middle level. Luckily, the fire hasn't reached the ladder, so we can make our escape out that way. How do you go down? Okay, but how then do you go down the ladder with a guy in one hand and a capsule in the other? Was the capsule that important that you'd risk your life to take it with you? It almost goes without saying, but yeah, that capsule contains asteroid samples. Therefore, it was invaluable as research material. With this spacesuit on, clay weighed a ton, but securing that capsule was also important. But both your arms, but with your hands, but how? It doesn't seem physically possible. I need you to answer to the best of your abilities. Mr. Starbuck, please remember that your verdict is writing on your testimony. Maybe I'm guilty after all. Please do not confess! We do not need our clients to confessing all the time! I wonder if you can see the stars in prison. I bet it's more comfortable than a spaceship. That's the questions for the prosecution there.
Hold it!
How can you make such a mistake, such a basic fact? Hey, everybody makes mistakes, but try thinking about the vastness of space instead. From Earth, it takes 4 light years to travel to our nearest neighboring star. So you see, compared to the vast expanse of space, human error is insignificant. I wish he'd consider it just a little more than significant than 0. Enough jabbering. Get on with your testimony. I remember, I took a different route. Maybe, probably. What do you mean, probably? Maybe, probably? Did I hear you right, Mr. Starbuck? I didn't say either of those things. Ah! Mission control, come in. An error has occurred in the sound system. Activate emergency tin can telephone. Oh no! Tin can telephone phones are effective in space, vacuum of space! Stop this nonsense, or I will sever you and your tin can telephone. Alright, I'm begging you. I'll tell the truth, so just sever anything. Apollo, is he gonna be alright? I'm starting to think he's not. Let's see. So about when we were running away. The upper level of the launch pad area. That's right. That's what I said, isn't it? Granted that route does exist. So to recap, you had clay over your right shoulder and the capsule in your left hand. Yeah, it's really important, so I couldn't let it get burned up. So even though clay was really heavy, I couldn't afford to carry him with both hands. I did my best I could with him over one shoulder and the capsule in my other hand. I don't think the meaning of what he just said has hit him yet. I don't think it has hit anyone else except me! And you pull up. Apparently. You know what You know what you have to do with that statement, Justice Dono. Yes, I know. Well, I've come this far. No turning back now. It's time to present some evidence. So Mr. Starbucks escaped with Clay in the capsule, which means, just like in this footage, I can see why he couldn't run though. He must have weighed over 200 pounds just by himself. Yeah, and he had to support Clay, who was another 200 pounds. Plus, he had to assure the safety of that capsule. I don't think I could even walk under those circumstances. Walking straight forward is probably about all I would have been able to manage.
Objection!
Mr. Starbuck, why don't you just tell the truth? The truth? Let's see. The iris is blue. No, that's not right. So, I guess the iris isn't blue. Yeah, that's it. The truth, Mr. Starbuck. Gah! The oxygen concentration is super low in this area. The apparent emergency oxygen tanks. Mr. Justice, the witness appears too confused. Please help draw out the truth from him. Mr. Starbuck, under the circumstances at the time, you couldn't possibly have reached the boarding lounge via the upper level route. Huh? Not as long as this was this was along the escape route. Ladder. To get down from the upper to the middle layer where launch pad 1 corridor is, you would have to go down the ladder. Isn't that right, Mr. Starbuck? Of course! That's the only way we could have escaped. But how would that work? At the time, you were supporting Mr. Tenman over your shoulders, were you not? And remember, he was in a full space gear, as well as putting him over 200 pounds. Oh, well, it's easy on the moon. Gravity is only 1/6 of what it is on Earth.
Objection!
But the Space Center is located on Earth. Short of being an octopus, climbing a ladder with an adult male in a space gear in one arm, while carrying the space capsule in your other is impossible, wouldn't you say? Oh. It doesn't seem physically possible! Just like beating a guy to death with his own skull. So, Mr. Starbuck, how exactly did you climb down that ladder with your arms full? Ah! Mr. Starbuck, come clean and tell us the truth now! Ah! Engineer, where's that engineer? Oxygen leak to detective do faulty man emergency. What the? He's flying the coop? Ah! Help! I'm caught on the ceiling! Help? Anyone? Bailiff, prepare the cherry picker. We must launch our rescue mission at once. Well, that's one way to take off while being questioned. I'd rather prove his innocence so he can go to space again someday for real. Now then, Mr. Starbuck, do you think you can keep your feet planted on the ground? Yes, I apologize for losing control. Are you ready to tell us the truth? Not that. Anything but that. Hey, Cena, you think you could do something about this? What's going on? This isn't the Mr. Starbuck I know. It appears Spaceboy is prone to deception. Witness? Yikes! Yes? I thought your story's odd, but perhaps the inconsistencies can be explained as the result of a medical side effect. Ah! Prosecutor Blackwell, please! Please don't talk about that! What are you talking about, Prosecutor Blackwell? Didn't I already state that Spaceboy is ironically terrified of going into space? That's why he took some precautions just before the launch. For you see, traces of this anti-anxiety drug were found in his system. Oh. I sense things are about to nosedive. You got it all wrong. I took them during the investigation, too. I don't know anything about any drugs. I never took any medication, I swear. It was found in his system, but he doesn't remember taking it. How could that be? Someone must have slipped them to me. But I guess maybe that's why I don't remember. Because of the side effects. Yeah, that's why I don't remember about much about what really happened. Well, what?! Order in the court. We can't get any useful testimony out of him if he doesn't remember anything. Athena! Well, this certainly explains why his testimony kept changing. Why didn't he just tell me he couldn't remember? I guess he didn't want anyone to find out he was terrified of going into space. Maybe I really did do it. No! You're not gonna confess on my end here, Starbucks! No! Not on my mark! You're not confessing to this murder! Which brings us to the answer of our original question. How did the witness climb down from the ladder with a dead body? It does? So what is it? A dead man feels no pains and makes no complaints, Justice Dono. So the body was simply dropped down from the top of the ladder. Oh my. But it doesn't look like he has any, like, But wouldn't... Hear me out. The body down? Who would do such a disrespectful thing? Besides, dropping the body down would have left marks on the body itself. So you are capable of quick sinking. Yes, you are correct. Really? Oh, thanks. Ah! Huh? What's this? It's the oxygen tank from the victim's spacesuit. It's ruptured, and I'm sure you can figure out why. You can't be implying it ruptured when the defendant dropped the victim's body. I am. For the fracture they fracture very easily when struck. Even if that's true, the tank's explosion in the shrapnel would leave its marks on the body. Yet, according to the autopsy report, only the knife wound was found on the victim's body. You're clearly grasping at straws with this line of reasoning.
Silence.
A spacesuit isn't heavy for the sake of being heavy, Justice Dono. It includes the latest technological devices. It is made from the fabric of tomorrow. This fabric is made to protect astronauts from the dangers of space. So falling a few Earth yards would hardly leave a mark on the wearer.
Objection.
Then shouldn't it be impossible to stab someone through it as well? It should. And yet, through sheer coincidence, the knife slipped through a weak spot in the suit's structure and found its way to its target. Well, what are the chances? You forget that our killer is an astronaut himself, who is the knowledge of how the suit works. He's got me there. And now my argument has been proven. Spaceboy killed the victim in the rocket and then dropped his body from the upper level. After climbing down, he shouldered the body and made sure the cameras recorded him. There's no room for debate about these facts. It's clear that Simon Starbucks is the only one who could have killed Clayterion. Gah! Here, the report regarding the astronaut's action tank. Consider it my send-off gift. Feel free to use it as payment for to cross the river stick. Hey, this report is pretty detailed. The display on the astronaut's left shoulder shows the oxygen tank room. I guess that means they're... I'm done for. I'm going to prison instead of space. Space boy. Yes? Take heart. The bejeweled night sky is still beautiful even when viewed through the bars. You mean the stars are as seen from prison? That's right. Your cell will be your spaceship. Picture the views through the iron bars. It's like being an astronaut in your own craft for all time. That's not half bad as I thought. Mr. Starbuck? Prosecutor Blackwell's got him good. Doing good. Spaceship prison cell. Fly me to the my guilt, and my despair into deepest, darkest space. God damn it! No, I told you not to confess! And then let us get sucked into a black hole together. Mr. Starbuck, you can't give up hope! Oh, yes, Apollo. You know, Clay really looked up to you. He said you're an incredible man. He said you never give up on your dreams and passion for space, no matter the situation. He said that? So don't give up now, and help me prove your innocence. For the sake of the man who respected you and believed in you, Clayterion. For Clay. You're wasting your breath. Rah! Rah! God! Oh, God. Apollo, thank you. I can see things clearly now. Mr. Starbuck. I'm fine now. Thanks for reminding me of my life mission. Right. We'll both be fine. I'll prove your innocence, you'll see. And after that, we'll get you back into space. Rah! You're ignited the booster rockets of my soul! I'm on fire! Wow. I'm Solomon Starbuck, astronaut, a cosmic hero chosen by the universe itself. This is not time to be whimpering and crying. I can't let you down. I can't let you and Clay down. Balderdash. The sun, the moon, all of space is calling me. Simon Starbuck. Ready to launch. Begin the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off. Well, that was I feel like I just witnessed an actual rocket launch. Apollo, you did it! You broke Prosecutor Blackwell's grip over Mr. Starbuck. I can't take the credit. It was all Mr. Starbuck. He pulled himself through. If you simpletons are done massaging one another's egos, no matter how positive your mood, my advantage still remains unshaken. I have to wait for the final guilty verdict. Isn't that right, your baldness? I can't let up now. I have to stop Blackwell. I have to see this through. Mr. Starbuck just had made it back into space. I won't let Clay's dream remain unfulfilled. I gotta destroy Blackwell's argument somehow. Sink just a sink. If the only people at the launch pad 1 were Clay and Mr. Starbuck, and Clay was already dead by the time this footage was taken, then the only person who could have killed him is Mr. Starbuck. So the only way to counter Blackwell's argument is if I can prove that Clay was still alive when they arrived at the boarding lounge. In which case, I should be able to find some contradiction in the evidence itself. Now let's see. About this data we just received. This supposedly proves that Mr. Starbucks dropped Clay's body back from in launch pad. Wait a second. Wouldn't his oxygen tank break? And the other is just... Fuck. But if I'm going to prove that false, then it must be something I can use here. Enough of your softbarness. Let's have your verdict. Prosecutor Blackwell, you seem to be in quite a hurry to rush the verdict. But about this oxygen data that you just submitted just now, it says that Mr. Starbucks' tank had been 80% remaining while Mr. Tyrion's has 0. Do you stand by the accuracy of this report? Of course. Then I guess it simply means that it's faulty as evidence goes. You will explain what you mean, Justice Dono. It's simple. This evidence contradicts the facts of the case. Take a look at the detailed description and you'll see what I mean. I hope you have some evidence, Mr. Justice, because I don't see what's so contradictory. Yes, Your Honor, right away. This evidence that the oxygen tank stands in contradiction to. Right. And how does this evidence present a contradiction? The problem is this part here. The no remaining in Mr. Starbucks' tank as he carries Mr. Tyrion. It appears to say 50. Yes, but according to the data, our client's tank had 80% remaining. Oxygen in the tank increased? I see Your Honor finds it as strange as I do. It's bad enough that there's a contradiction, but the increase in oxygen is beyond illogical. Oh my, you're absolutely right. What is going on here?
Silence.
I too find it odd that the oxygen remaining has increased. It would be as odd as my rations were to increase. But what does that prove? It doesn't change the fact that the defendant's carrying the victim's corpse. I'm going to bet you don't get more rations because you don't abide by the rules. Either way, the oxygen remaining shouldn't increase, just as your rations don't increase. Therefore, this new information is critical. We can't overlook it.
Silence.
In that case, do you have an answer to this riddle of the mysterious increasing oxygen? You better not disappoint, or I'll declare the inconsistency as a mere equipment malfunction. Yeah. Prosecutor Blackwell has a point. I suppose it could be a simple malfunction. Mr. Justice, if you cannot provide an adequate counter argument to this point, I'm afraid I must bring this trial to an end. So do you think you can explain why the remaining oxygen level increased? Of course I can! The thing to do at a time like this is to turn my thinking around. Mr. Starbuck had no memory of it, but he claims to have carried Clay. So this man with the 50 on his tanks ought to be Mr. Starbuck. But if anything, the display on his oxygen tank should have been shown in 80. This is a clear contradiction between the report and the security footage. So what I should be asking is not why did the oxygen level increase, but what happened to make it look like it increased? Am I making some kind of mistake in my base assumption here? Well, Mr. Justice, we're waiting. Yes, Your Honor. I'm ready to answer. This is why the remaining oxygen to be has increased. Maybe they were escaping in the opposite direction. The opposite direction? Like how rewinding a video makes things look like they're repairing themselves. In which case, I think the one who's going to need rewinding is you, Mr. Justice. Penalty. I'd rather fast forward through this myself. It had to happen to make it look like it increased. What if it's the other way around? The other way around? Would you care to explain, Mr. Justice? As you can see, Your Honor, both men had their helmets on in this footage. But it turns out, this is where our base assumptions went astray. We assumed that it was Mr. Starbuck helping Mr. Tyrion, but it was the other way around. It wasn't Mr. Starbuck helping Mr. Tyrion at all. It was Mr. Tyrion who was helping Mr. Starbuck to the boarding lounge. It was what? Order, Mr. Justice. You mean to tell me that this person on the right in the image is the victim, Claire Tyrion? It's the only way the riddle of the increasing oxygen level can be solved, Your Honor. At this point in time, the remaining oxygen in the victim's tank was at 50%. And when the victim was found in the boarding lounge, his tank was at 0%. That's right. There's nothing that contradictory about the oxygen level decreasing. This means Mr. Tyrion was alive as they made their escape into the lounge. How short your memory is. Have you forgotten what you yourself proposed? Even if the victim was alive at this point in time. How did he descend the ladder with his arms full? Prosecutor Blackwell, you can't hurt me with a broken blade. Excuse me? Wow, we're using his own metaphors against him. Wow, Apollo. It's true that we don't know how they got down the ladder. I suppose that matter needs further investigation. But we have proven that Mr. Tyrion was alive when he reached the boarding lounge. This fact alone shatters your claims and opens up the possibility that the victim could have been killed by a third party. There were two people who claimed to be the first on the scene, but can we truly trust their statements? Let's see. The two people were Detective Candace Arm and Yuri Cosmos, right? You think that one of them have given a false statement to the police? Yes, it's certainly possible, but we might have to do a little more digging. It seems we'll have to hear the testimony of these first two people who are on the scene. Score! Come to think of it, Detective Arm should be here in court right now. Bailiff, could you please show Detective Arm to the stand? I have an announcement, everyone. Well, what's the meaning of this? We're in the middle of a trial here. Please remain calm and listen carefully. Someone has reactivated the bomb. The bomb was defused, but it's about to explode. Explain? No! A bomb? Now? Ah! Everybody run! Eek! I don't want to die! Oh no! Everyone's panicking!
Silence.
Headless chickens with a death wish, the lots of you. Calm yourselves before all else. I guess you're right. Come on, Apollo, let's get out of here. But what about Mr. Starbuck's dream? And who will carry out Clay's final wish? I don't care what happens to me. I'm not gonna let some bomb blow the truth up forever. I refuse to let things end here. Apollo, this is no time to be dramatic. If we don't get out of here now, we're gonna die. Come on, this way! Hey, ouch! Let me go! Apollo! Juniper? She hasn't evacuated yet? Eek! Juniper, are you alright? Apollo, no! Not that way! Ah! To be continued. I would continue it, but I am actually really tired today. So we're just gonna save the next part for a bomb just went off. And if we were doing it, and if we were doing the right things in yeah, like I said, I am quite tired tonight, so it's been a long week, so if anyone wants to get caught up, if anyone who has been watching from the beginning, if anybody wants to, if you want to get yourself caught up, we've already played Turnabout Countdown, which is what would be happening next. So, I think technically canonly. So, at that point, then, it would just be, so yeah, I might be rewatching my playthrough of Turnabout Countdown. It should be up on YouTube. Or I think it's actually it should still be up here on Twitch because of my extensive, my Twitch Prime. So that's I'm gonna stay up for 2 months. But anyways, it is up on YouTube. I know that part for sure. Like I said, I'm too tired to continue tonight. So I'm just gonna end it here because there's no one to raid. So night, everyone. Oh, I forgot to say I'll be back tomorrow. We're doing some. I believe we're doing some Sundoku Dynasty with Madcap and Alexa, but I don't go live for the Sundoku Dynasty. And then Saturday, I think we're doing Stardew with Farm. We're doing Pom Pom. And I should mention that streams might be a little different the week in like 2 weeks, because it would be the week of, it'd be like the 13th to the 19th, because I might be a little busy those days, but we'll see how all that would go down. But anyways, that's all. It's a good night.